Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I am going to talk you through how to use the formulas for trigonometry that are given to you on the formula sheet. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because I still see so many teachers teaching SOHCAHTOA, which is great. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic method. I certainly use it and will probably use it again in the future. But that said, we have a formula sheet which isn't SOHCAHTOA and is actually giving formulas that are really easy to use if you know how. So I'm going to walk you through the process and you can decide whether or not you feel you would like to make that switch. If you are confident with your SOHCAHTOA, I'm not here to tell you to change how you're doing it. I do have an option for you to adapt, if you like, what you're given on the formula sheet if you're sticking to your SOHCAHTOA. And I will show that at the end of the video. And that might be the best kind of hack for you. Okay, so let's get straight into this. This is obviously what we are going to be seeing on the formula sheet. Now let's just talk you through the triangle to start off with. You will see that the angle is marked with a capital A. So each one of these capital A's will be the specific acute angle in the question. Our edges are all lowercase. You travel across the triangle to find A, and that would be your first step for labeling. What I particularly like about the A and the B is once you've traveled across to locate your A, your right angle does the rest of the work for you. So in alphabetical order, you have found A, go to your right angle and it will point to B. So the right angle points to A and B, and then you have C left over. So when I look at this question that's been drawn out, I know that if I just travel across, I will locate A. The right angle points to A and B, so that's my B, and there's my C. Once I've put all three labels on, one of them will get eliminated. I need this edge because it has some information. I need this edge because it's the edge I'm wanting to find. This edge has nothing other than the B I put on it. So I'm going to cross that off because I don't need that. And then I'm going to choose the function that has A and C in it, which is this one here. I'm now going to write out T for trig. The first part goes in the bottom section here, sine A. Then on top of the line, we have an A, and underneath that, we have a C. Now, I can either rewrite this or I can annotate it in the same T. I like to rewrite, certainly showing you guys so that it's really clear. So I've got sine, capital A is my angle. If I go and take a look at my diagram, the angle is 28 degrees. So 28. My little a is x and my little c is 12. Now I'm ready to set up the equation I'm going to solve. You always write x equals first. So we've written the x and we are left with this. Because these are side by side, I am literally going to be multiplying them. Now you will notice that I have closed this bracket here. Your calculator is going to automatically open the bracket. If you don't close it, you will end up doing 28 times 12 with your sine, and that will give you a completely different result. So we don't want to do that. So you throw that into your calculator, and that is your result. We're not going to be rounding in this particular video. You will obviously round to whatever you're told to in the exam paper. All right, let's see that again. So a fairly similar one. If you want to pause so that you can have a go and start feeling this, feel free. Otherwise, just watch through and I will show you again how it's working. So this is my angle in the question. Travel across to find A. Right angle points to A and B, leaving this side to be C. Cross off the one you don't need and then locate A and B on that formula sheet, which is here. So this is the one that I will be using. T for trig, tan A in the bottom, a, little b. And now I'll show you what I meant by how you can just use the same one if you want. I'm going to go to the diagram, I'm going to find the angle, which is 36. The little a is x, and the b is 8.8. Might save me rewriting it. Depends on what you like, really. Right, the x equals first, really important to remember. These are side by side. So tan 36 times 8.8, which equals 6.393, and on it goes. Okay, so the orientation has changed slightly, but the way that we process this, the way that we think about it, will not change. So again, locate the angle and travel across. So it's A and C, giving us this one to use. Now you will see from this example that the x is in a slightly different position. That doesn't change the process. You will still write x equals first. But this time what you've got left over is 14 on the top with sine 67 on the bottom. So that creates a fraction. And you just pop that in your calculator and get 15.209, and on it goes. So it doesn't matter where the x ends up. If the numbers that you've got left are on top of each other, you divide. If they're side by side, you times. And you always write that x equals first. Okay, so in this example, we've obviously got an angle marked in the diagram. It wouldn't be trig if we didn't have that angle marked. But this time, instead of having to find an edge, we're actually being asked to find the angle. Again, I'm not going to change a thing. I travel across to find the A, do all the other sides, cross off the one I don't want, and we've got BC, which is this one here. Now, don't change the fact that we have to write x equals. The only difference is that cos is stuck to the x. So we bring it all down. Cos x equals. I can't leave the cos behind. So it's coming down with the x. I've got 6.2 on the top and 11.3 on the bottom. At this stage, I do now need to do one extra step. If I want to know what x equals, I have to get it on its own. To get it on its own, I'm going to pick up the cos, and I'm just going to throw it on the other side. If I move it across the equals, it leaves x on its own. But I must remember that it lands as its opposite, as its inverse sign, which is cos minus 1. And when you put that in to your calculator, you'll use the shift button and it will automatically open that bracket as always. You're just going to throw the whole thing in. And the answer is 56.387, and on it goes. This only takes a short amount of practice before the confidence actually really grows. It's a great prompt on the day. If you have a mind blank, it's a really good method. Obviously, I've been using it ever since we've been given the formula sheet, and the difference in confidence that I've seen from my classes is amazing. So I would really encourage anyone to give this a go. As promised, I am going to show you the hack. If you are super confident and you do not want to change from SOHCAHTOA, this is my advice. Go to the formula sheet and put in your labeling. You would have labeled opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. You now have your letters matching the letters that they have. So now all you have to do is just rearrange them. So you've got your O and your H, A and H, O and A. So if you are having a mind blank and you just can't remember, but you can remember your labeling, this could be one way of getting around that and making the formula sheet work for you. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. Keep your eye on the channel because we will be having those best guess predicted papers that we did last year. They were super popular. We will be doing those again. And in the meantime, we'll have loads of revision resources being posted all the time.